There is a kind of tired hope that many people carry now. It is not the bright kind that feels like a sunrise. It is the kind that wakes up anyway. It holds both belief and doubt in the same breath. You might feel it when you read another hard story and still decide to care. You might feel it when you see a new problem and still choose to try. This is where the idea begins. Not with a perfect solution, but with the reality that hope and despair can sit in the same room. And somehow we still have to work. The context here is important because we live in a time when problems feel huge and constant. People hear about disease, trauma, violence, and systems that fail again and again. At the same time, we also hear about tools that seem powerful and fast, like artificial intelligence and new methods and new partnerships. The emotional result is mixed. Part of us feels inspired. Part of us feels overwhelmed. And if we are honest, many of us feel both in a single day. The surface concept in this story is about using what we already have. Using existing medicines in new ways. Using existing people and systems in better ways. It sounds like efficiency and cleverness. Like finding hidden value. It is exciting because it suggests that solutions might not require starting from zero. They might already be on the shelf. But the deeper insight is not only about resources. It is about attention. The hidden assumption most systems carry is that if something is not new, it is not worth energy. New projects attract funding. New tools attract headlines. New programs attract status. Old things feel boring even if they work. This creates a strange gap. We end up surrounded by partial solutions that are not fully connected to the people who need them. We end up with research results that sit in papers and training programs that sit in slides and good ideas that never reach the last mile. The story quietly points to that last mile problem. The medicine exists, but the matching has not happened. The caring adults exist, but the support and training has not happened. The knowledge exists, but it has not become a daily habit across the system. This is where the structural pattern appears. Many broken systems are not broken because they have nothing. They are broken because what they have is scattered. Pieces exist in different rooms and different languages and different incentives. Health is separated from mental health. Education is separated from trauma understanding. Research is separated from patient access. One group has data. Another group has authority. Another group has the lived experience. The work is not only to invent. The work is to connect. Connection sounds simple, but it is hard because it requires humility and patience. It requires crossing boundaries. It requires the kind of listening that does not feel productive in the moment but becomes powerful over time. This is why the conversation about trauma-informed systems matters so much. It is not just about being kind. It is about understanding behavior. When people live under stress, they do not act the way we expect in calm settings. They may shut down. They may explode. They may avoid. They may fail to show up. If we interpret that as laziness or disrespect, we respond with punishment. That punishment increases stress. The cycle continues. Trauma-informed work changes the frame. Instead of asking what is wrong with you, it asks what happened to you and what do you need to feel safe enough to learn and heal. That shift sounds small. But it changes interactions in schools, clinics, and police stations. It changes how adults react in the moment. And those moments matter. Because systems are made of moments repeated. The same is true in medicine. A doctor can have the best intentions, but if the system only rewards standard pathways, then unusual connections are ignored. If no one is paid to spread the word about an old drug, then knowledge stays trapped. If there is no structure to match drugs to diseases at scale, then patients depend on luck. Here technology enters not as magic but as a bridge. Builder. Tools that scan large bodies of knowledge can surface patterns that humans would miss. But even then the work does not finish itself. A score on a screen is not a cure. A prediction is not a treatment plan. A new match still needs testing and careful decisions and real relationships with doctors and patients. So the line between human and tool becomes clear. Machines can find connections. Humans decide what matters. Humans carry responsibility. Humans comfort families. Humans handle grief when nothing works. This brings us back to hope and despair. Because anyone doing this work meets failure. Patients are lost. Children suffer. Communities repeat patterns. It can feel like running in place. In those moments, hope is not a mood. It is a practice. It is showing up again. It is looking at what is possible today. It is learning from setbacks without being swallowed by them. This is why the idea of holding hope and despair together is so realistic. If you demand constant optimism, you will break. If you allow only despair, you will stop. Holding both means you admit the pain and still act. You let sadness inform your urgency without letting it cancel your agency. In daily life, this looks like small choices. A nurse who stays gentle even after a hard call. A teacher who notices a child acting out and chooses curiosity instead of anger. A doctor who considers one more option before giving up. A team leader who communicates more when stress rises, not less. A friend who does not offer easy comfort but stays present. These actions are not dramatic. But they are the building blocks of systems change. The optional deepening is to see that scaling does not only mean growing bigger. Scaling can mean making something repeatable inside existing institutions. Training that becomes part of cadet education. Tools that become part of hospital routines. Habits that become part of school culture. That is the quiet kind of scale. It lasts through leadership changes because it lives at the operational level where people do the work every day. It also reminds us that the strongest change is often demand-driven. When people in the system feel the benefit, they ask for it. They protect it. They spread it. But to reach that point, someone has to do the early work when demand is not yet visible. Someone has to test, learn, adjust, and listen. Someone has to build teams with different strengths and keep communicating when time zones and stress make it hard. And someone has to keep asking what already exists and what gap can we fill without trying to reinvent everything. All of this circles back to a simple but not easy idea. The world has many partial solutions. Some are medicines. Some are people. Some are methods. The work is to connect them with care and discipline. And the fuel for that work is not blind optimism. It is a kind of grounded hope that accepts grief as part of the path. So when you think about the problems you care about, and the days you feel tired, and the days you feel motivated, what would it look like for you to hold hope and despair together and still take one clear step forward?